I'm trying to get me a little pretty savage. They got her own bag, got goody and she bad, and ain't too many had it. Got a man, but she managed. They like to toast up till she dizzy.
Okay, so starting with this 2-step protein treatment after already shampooing. First step is a protein, and the second step is going to be a moisturizer. I'm sure you can use any moisturizer you want, but it's easier to just stick with products that goes together. And since the protein is watery, you're going to want to put it into another bottle before you use it. So first I'm just wetting my hair, preparing it for shampoo. I'm going to speed up this process. I thought I'd include the shampoos that I was using in case you guys were interested, but I didn't want to dive too deep into it because it's not really important for the video. So you know those people who are like, oh, I just apply shampoo to my scalp and let the rest fall on the rest of my hair? Yeah, I'm not one of them. I do focus on the roots and my scalp, but yeah, shampoo goes on my entire head. So after shampooing, you're just going to wring out your hair. No need to towel dry it. Okay, so after you put the protein on, you leave it in there until it starts to harden and kind of dry out. That usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes. And it'll probably tangle your hair up. At least it tangles mine. My hair actually never tangles until I add that in it. Throughout the whole washing process, that is. And warning, because it's so runny, it's bound to run down into your eyes. And yes, it'll burn like hell, so be careful. And speaking of burning like hell, you can see here that the protein started to irritate my skin. That's something that's never actually happened, so I would be mindful of that, and you should be too. Okay, huge misconception with the moisturizer. People are saying that you're supposed to add it within 2 minutes and rinse it right off. That's not true. It actually says that you're supposed to apply it throughout your whole head and then leave it on for 2 minutes, then you immediately wash it off. I don't know how you drew that conclusion, sis. Now it's time to rinse off. No more peeks for you. Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick little intermission just to show you like what type of brushes I would recommend. So first and foremost, we grown enough to know like this brush does not do shit. Like unless you have really loose, like almost straight hair, this is not gonna do anything. The only thing I would recommend this type of brush for is if you're doing like a sleek ponytail or something like that. That's what this comes in handy for, just to brush everything down. Or even if you're wearing a wig and you just want to kind of like just brush everything down and smooth it out, that's what this is for. I wouldn't really like recommend this for anything else. So the Tangle Tamer, I like it. You want like a brush kind of like this, but I feel like these bristles were like really soft, like a little too soft. And it's not broken. I only put the tape on it because it doesn't really have a grip. Like it's way too slippery for when you're using like a lot of products. So I really did like the brush, but they need to add some grip to the handle. And then if they do that, I probably would end up buying this again, honestly. Like it was soft, like the bristles are pretty soft, but it's fine, to be honest. If you do have like really thick coarse hair, then those bristles probably wouldn't do you any justice. This is my all-time favorite brush. I actually, when I first got this, I got it for free from Sally's, and I fell in love with it. And then that one broke, and I bought another one, and that one broke. So I ended up with this one, which ended up cracking. That's why I haven't used it. But I think I'll be able to like crazy glue it or something, and maybe I'll be able to use it again. I don't know. I'm kind of scared to put crazy glue on it if I'm gonna put it on my hair. But we'll see. This is definitely my favorite one. I couldn't find it again. It doesn't have like an actual name. I mean, when I bought it from Sally's, it has a name that Sally's has it under, but I don't know anything other than that. When I bought this one and the first one, it was actually like about $5 or so. Actually, I think it was more like $3. And then when I started looking for it online, once this one cracked, it's like up to $15 and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to buy that. There's no point because it's just not that durable. It works perfect. This is like the best brush I've ever had, but it just isn't durable. If it was a little more durable, I would recommend this brush more than any other brush that you could ever come across. Trust me. And what I really like about it is that it doesn't have any padding or anything. I don't like padded brushes because they hold in dirt. And I mean, obviously you're going to wash your brushes out, but I don't like that. And then it holds in moisture too. You can't really fully dry it all the way. I don't like the padding on the back. So something like this is ideal because it's not going to hold in all your products. You can rinse it after every use. That's why I had something like this, because I didn't want to buy another one of those, and I ended up buying this one. This also doesn't have like the best grip, but it's not as bad as a Tangle Tamer. Like, it's not as slippery. Obviously you can see like the different materials. This is like a slippery, like shinier plastic, and this is just like a little rougher. But however, now this one was actually, these bristles were actually way too soft in my opinion. Like, I didn't really get much out of this brush. I feel like it didn't do anything. So maybe it'll work for you. I think I got this from Amazon or something. And it shouldn't be more than like $7. It should be like between $3 and $8, I guess, because I wouldn't have paid that much. Except for this one. Now this is on the pricier side. Actually, I don't even know what the hell this is called. Oh, it says high definition curl brush. I bought this from Heat Free Hair. Now this was like $25, so it is a bit on the pricey side. But the thing is, this is very, very durable. I don't have to run through them like I had to run through these brushes. This is pretty thin. It didn't crack or anything, but I'm pretty sure it will because it's even thinner than this one. So I feel like if it lasts a while and it does a great job, then the price doesn't matter. Like, it's only $25. If that's a lot, make payments for it. Like, it's a lot for a brush, it seems, but it's only $25 for something that's really going to be here for a long time. And this also doesn't have like the padding and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it has these holes in them, but I mean, these, you can really just rinse it out and you can shake out all the water and all the products. It doesn't really hold anything in. There's no cushion in there, so I really like it. Basically, what you want to do is you're going to detangle with this side, and then you define your curls with the other side. I will say I don't think it defines as much like as they make it. Maybe it's my hair texture. I really don't know, but it works. It definitely works. It does a great job. For the ads and stuff that you see, I just feel like it didn't do like a magnificent job or anything, but I mean, it does what I need it to do. And yes, it's still a little slippery, but most brushes will be a little slippery, I guess, because, you know, you're gonna have products on your hand when you're doing your hair. This one wasn't that slippery though, honestly. Like, this is why this is my favorite brush. Like, the brush can always slip from your hands, or, you know, you can drop it or anything. That happens, that's natural, but this is like this had the best grip, and this brushed my hair the best too. Like, honestly, if I could find these again for the right price, I probably would just buy it again. I just hate that I have to keep running through them because they don't last long. But yeah, this is the one I would recommend. If it's not this, I would recommend something like this, something that's sturdy, something that lasts. If you don't want to pay that much, or you feel like you don't want like the definer and the detangler, then just go for something like this. It doesn't have to be this exact one, but I would recommend something like this. So I'm not like a big product person. I can honestly survive with just 2 to 3 products. So after I wash my hair, I usually use this. I have lately been using this to detangle my hair, and I don't brush it or anything. I just put this throughout my whole head and like just finger detangle it. I just use this to loosen up some of the few tangles that I got after washing, and then after that I go in with this. Lately I've been using this. I really, really love this. It smells so good, and it feels really good on your hair too because of the mint. I really, really love this. So after detangling with the hair honey is what I call it, I go in with this and I style it, and then I put it into my section of the braids, which I'm going to show you. And that's all you need. If you want, you can add like extra, you can add another product. Like, if I wanted my hair to be really, really curly, I would use the Eden leave-in conditioner. I think I use it all the time, so I should really know what it's called, and I don't. But that's pretty much all I would add. Since I'm basically stretching my hair out, I don't want it to be like that curly. It doesn't need to be defined or anything like that, and I think this does a good enough job anyway. So that's all I use, just these 2 products. Okay, so I always split my hair into 2 sections. I usually do the right side first. I usually come out with about 6 braids, give or take, or sometimes maybe 5 or something. For this stretching method, it's better if you do have like more braids, but I mean, I don't usually do all that much. You don't really need to do that many braids when you're just putting your hair up at night. So like give or take 3 and 3 or even 4 and 4 is a pretty good amount. Sometimes I add more honey to each section. Sometimes you don't have to. I just go in with the as I am. And I start with detangling the back and braiding that up. Then I get to the front. So what you want to do for this stretching method is you're going to need a hair tie. I would recommend the smallest hair tie you can find, because the tighter the hair tie, the better for the roots of your hair. But you can honestly just use whichever one you have. I use these. For some of them, I use like bigger ones like this. It all works. It's just a lot better with the small ones. So what you want to do is just put this at the root of your hair. The rest of my hair is just tied back because I didn't want it in the way. I wanted you guys to see entirely what I'm doing. Just have it as tight as you possibly can. I usually scoot it up to make sure it's all the way at the root, or as close to the root as possible. What this is for is to make sure that the root stays stretched out. That's why you want to make sure it's tied up. Otherwise, if it's not like tied up, it's gonna just shrink up like all the rest of your hair will. So this is the biggest detail you have to remember. When you're doing your braids, you just want to braid it as loose as possible. So you'll see when I'm done that the braid is just really, really loose. The only thing you're gonna braid like really tight is the ends. See how loose the braid is? You want it to be loose so that it stays like stretched out like this, because the tighter you braid it, the curlier your hair will get, because that means you will have more shrinkage, so your hair is going to be defined more. It's going to lose a lot of its length, and then it's also going to be curlier. So if you wanted your hair to look curly, then yeah, you would do tighter braids. But since I'm stretching my hair out, I want the braids to be loose. So that's the main thing you have to focus on, is just loosen the braids. Also, you don't have to put a scarf on at night. It's recommended, but since your hair is already, well, for me, since I just washed my hair is damp, so I do want it to dry faster. I probably won't put a scarf on. Also, for the products that I use, they don't take that long to dry. For one, my hair isn't going to take that long to dry anyway, but on top of that, the honey just detangles. It's not really damp. There's not a whole lot of moisture in it. And the As I Am, it's a really good product, but it's not like heavy. It doesn't weigh your hair down, and it's not like real moist either. So that comes in handy, because it's kind of, I don't want to say dry because that sounds bad, but it's like kind of dryish. So it doesn't take long to dry on your hair. And tomorrow, after it's dried, I'll show you the takedown and also how I separate my hair afterwards.